Good afternoon, you've tuned into ET Now and this is Market Fatafat with me, Karunya Rao. If you look at the markets at this point in time, definitely a great deal of gains have been given up by the Nifty. Look at that, the way it's fallen off the day's high. But the good news here is it still continued to trade with a decent amount of gains right now. Nifty has gained about 88 points as we speak, and broader markets, well, they're trying to participate in today's recovery as well, but the quantum of the gains is not as high as the benchmarks are doing. Look at that, mid-cap index is up 0.8%. Small cap also staging a similar performance in today's session. All the sectors are back in the green. It's very pleasant to see green across the screen after the mayhem that took place over the markets over the last 1 week odd. We're looking at a Nifty IT, which is looking very good. It's up 1%. Metal index is up 3.5%. That continues to build on to its gains. Just an hour back or so, it was about 2.5% higher, and now another 1% added to its gains. Look at a pharma index as well, 3.4% higher. So it's Nifty Pharma as well as the Nifty Metal Index, which are single-handedly running the show today, because yes, other indices are also very much in the green, but the quantum of gains that these two have managed to log in is spectacular. If you look at some individual performers, well, most of them are from the pharma as well as from the metals pack. Cipla is the top gainer. It's up 6%. Vedanta is up 5.5%. Z Entertainment is up 5% as well. So good gains coming in today. 42 out of 50 stocks trading with gains right now. All right, let's then focus on what's happening in the markets and kickstart Market Fatafat with all the stocks that you need to watch out for and trade. First up is Granules as well as IOL. Vinny, can you tell us why these stocks are attracting so much interest?
So Karanya, India has restricted exports of several API and drug formulations. So, this is mainly in response to the China API supply issue which we were facing. So now after this, these drugs were free before, and now they will be restricted from exports. Now the certain drugs are paracetamol, progesterone, and some other vitamins also are a part of this, and that's why we are seeing a movement in Granules and IOL chemicals. They have, a few of these drugs which they are making. So surely Granules is down by 3% on the back of this, and IOL chemicals is also down by around 4% if we go to see, and mainly this is what is impacting both these companies currently.
All right, that's Granules as well as IOL chemicals are definitely witnessing a deep sense of pressure, selling pressure in trade today. Moving on to a stock that's flying high, it's India Bulls Housing Finance. Manav, how are the technicals looking? Okay, right now the stock has also cooled off a fair bit. It's just now marginally higher in trade. But overall, going forward, how do you see the stock's trajectory playing out?
See, due to compliance, I will not be able to comment on the India Bulls, but as a whole, the NBFC space has witnessed a good amount of decline. So for now, keeping aside the India Bull Housing, the other stock that I could comment is on the HDFC Limited. This stock has in fact seen a good amount of a downside, so a short-term pullback rally, definitely keeping a view for a short-term perspective is there, at least for the near term.
Okay, moving on then from housing finance to a construction company. NCC is in focus. Soumya, what's the news here?
Well, this one's gaining on back of an order win worth over 85 crore rupees in the month of February. In fact, the company also added that during this month, there was one order which is pertaining to NBCC, which is closely amounts to about 1,500 odd crore rupees, has been reinstated after the Delhi High Court judgment in favor of NBCC. So both these dual aspects have given a little positive momentum as far as the order flows are concerned for NCCC. The stocks from the day's high, but nevertheless is still managing to trade with the gains of around 1.5%.
Right. NCC as of now trading at 36 rupees a piece. Vinny, Mahindra Lifespace is a stock that we don't talk about very often. Tell us why is it in the news today?
So Karanya, after 6 consecutive sessions, finally the stock is gaining in trade, and it was up by around 2% today in the morning if you go to see. Now Mahindra Lifespace Developers, the subsidiary of the company, has received an approval for partial denotification of notified area under the SEZ, that is Special Economic Zone. Now this partial denotification is of around 55.90 hectares, and it is in a non-processing area. So this is quite a positive sign for Mahindra Life Developer, the subsidiary as well. So that is why we are seeing the stock in focus today.
That's Mahindra Life Spaces up about 1% in trade. Definitely some positive developments taking place at the company. Vodafone Idea, next stock that we'd like to flag off. In fact, the company has paid about 3,042 crore rupees to the DoT for spectrum dues. Of course, we've just been picking up this news from the Economic Times. Just minutes ago, it has come by. So that's an update that they've done. The payment comes even as the telco faces balance adjusted gross revenue, which is AGR dues worth of 53,500 crores. So that's a big quantity. And 53 and 3,000 odd is not going to, impact too much significantly, but definitely at least they've started working on it, and this is definitely a sign for that. 3,000 rupees paid for AGR dues. The Vodafone Idea under pressure, down 1.5%. All right, Samya, coming to you for a Hero MotoCorp. Can you tell me what's the update?
Well, we have a monthly update as far as the sales numbers are concerned for Hero. The company said that they've sold close to about 4.98 lakh units in the month of February, which is actually pretty much in line with what the ET Now poll was also estimating. We were expecting a sales of around 5 lakhs, so which is pretty much at the same figure. And also the company has updated as far as the entire coronavirus issue is concerned. They've said that the sales and this were actually adversely impacted at their manufacturing facilities. However, the component makers in China have restarted production, and they expect the supplies to normalize pretty much soon. So on back of this, I think the fact that coronavirus impact would now be normalizing is what's positive for the entire street, and specifically for Hero MotoCorp, we're seeing good gains of around 2.5%.
Right, Hero MotoCorp, well, definitely some relief coming by for the company, given that some of their suppliers have now started manufacturing once again, and over the next couple of days, next few days, they do expect normalcy to be restored. So that's Hero MotoCorp for you, up 2.5% in trade. Look at what's flashing at the bottom of your screens with respect to PNB Housing Finance, another stock that's very much in focus, and some developments taking place here. The company was supposed to meet today to discuss fundraising plans, and looks like the board meet is over. The board has now okayed raising up to 1,700 crore rupees from the QIP route, and that's the update we're picking up. The stock, however, is trading completely flat. It hasn't yet been reacting or started to react much as far as this news is concerned. Moving on to our next stock, Vedanta. Manav, coming on this one, the stock has seen immense pressure for the last 1.5 months odd. Going forward, do you see some kind of relief come by?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, there has been a series of decline from its recent peak of 145, and prices have now tested its deep oversold levels, and in fact is now at all-time lows. So there are multiple divergences that we've witnessed on the momentum indicators. The overall trend definitely remains on the downside, but from here on we could see a short-term momentum rally, as there has been aggressive shorts. I believe in the near term there could be a short covering move once if the stock exceeds 120 levels. On the lower side, 110 to 112 would act as a very strong support, and in the near term perspective, we expect a short-term momentum rally towards the levels of 130 on the upside.
Okay, there you have it. Vedanta literally flying in trade. It's the biggest gainer on the benchmark index today. 117 is where it's perched at. Okay, Apple India, next stock that we'd like to highlight. Vinny, what's the update?
So Karunya, Nomura has maintained a buy rating on Apple, and they have given a target price of around 1,900 per share. This is post the acquisition of MediaSmart by the company. Now this acquisition actually expands Apple's market in America and Europe and Latin America, where they do not have much of a physical presence currently. So this is quite positive for Apple India. This will improve their presence and also give them higher cost per converted end users in these countries, and also better profitability for the company. So they're quite positive on Affle India, and that's why they're maintaining a buy on the stock currently.
Okay, and next stock is NTPC, and just like its peers in the metal index, this one is also looking very, very upbeat today. Well, what's the update? The state-owned company, essentially, including its JV and arms, has achieved an annual capacity addition target of 5,290 megawatts for the year 2019-2020. This is also the largest ever commercial capacity addition for the group in a single year. So, on back of that achievement of the milestone, the stock is in focus, and like most of its metal peers, and this one is also staging a very, very good up move in trade today. NTPC, as we speak, is up 3%, trading at 107 rupees a piece. With that, we're going to slip into a short break here. Plenty more stocks to be highlighted when we come back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're still watching Market Fatafat on ET now. Manav, want to come to you for Motherson Sumi. Can you tell me how the technicals are looking? Because the week so far has been very flip-flop for this one.
Yes, in fact, the stock has breached its important weekly and monthly support levels, and there has been a big trend reversal post the rally that we witnessed a couple of months back. I believe the stocks would witness a stiff resistance around the levels of 110 to 115 range on the upside, and any short-term recovery into the stock should ideally be looked to exiting long positions or to initiate fresh shorts. Unlikely for the stock to go beyond 115 levels, as there are series of resistance on the upside and the overall structure looks very weak. We maintain a sell on rise approach into this stock and expect lower targets of 95 to be achieved.
All right, moving on then from Motherson Sumi to once again telecom space. Airtel is in focus. Soumya, why is that?
Current Axper reports the company's own calculation and estimates for AGR dues actually stand almost one-third of what the telecom department had actually specified. So given this backdrop, this might, if these are more realistic in terms of their AGR dues, this might be a relief for Airtel. However, Goldman has added that they're still maintaining a buy on the stock with a target price around 549 per share, and they add that if lower self-assessed amount paid upfront by telecom companies, they're seeing a growth of around probably 24 to 26%. That's what they're saying, 46%. So, given all of this, I think this may stand to benefit Airtel. Talking about the stock performances, it was gaining close to about 2% at the earlier part of the trading session. However, during the trading session, we did see the stock reversing all the gains, and currently it's trading with a negative bias.
Okay, that's Airtel for you, trading at 520 rupees a piece. Winnie, GSK Pharma has had a change at the helm. Can you tell us what that is?
So Karanya, flagging of the stock only on the back of that change. Now we are seeing that they have appointed Mr. Sridhar Venkatesh as the managing director, and he'll be taking over the reins from 1st April 2020. And this is will be interesting to see how we actually carry forwards the business, and what are his new plans. So this is why I'm flagging on the stock today, Karanya.
Okay, that's GSK for you, trading higher by 1% as we speak. Next up is Adani Ports that we'd like to highlight as well. Oasis Trading Investment has bought about 3.83% stake in the company, and the transaction, the seller essentially is Acropolis Trade, and on back of that, the buy that has happened, the investment that has happened in Adani Port, the stock is pretty much in focus right now, trading with a gain of 1.2%. Moving on to Cadila, then Manav. What an up move the stock has seen intraday. Right now also trading quite resilient. I'm talking about Cadila, not Adani Port. The stock will come up. Okay, it has cooled off actually. Can you tell us how the technicals are looking like?
See, the prices since past many months have witnessed a series of downtrend, and in fact it is still in a structure of forming a series of lower tops and bottoms, and recently the stock has formed a very strong high around the levels of 275 in the month of Feb. So from there we have seen a new decline started. So the current structure is still quite bearish, I believe on the upside, 265 to 270 are the important resistance level, and I don't see the stock exceeding that on the upside. In fact, looking at the overall scenario and the structure that the stock is still trading in, with the most of the momentum indicators into the stocks are quite bearish. They haven't even crossed the momentum signal on the upside. So I believe on the upside the stock will witness resistance. One can maintain a sell on rise approach with a stop loss of 270 on the upside and can expect low targets of 220 to be achieved.
Okay, that's the verdict on Kerala. The stock is trading a bit muted right now, just higher by 0.3%. Okay, last stock for the day, Bajaj Auto. Vinny, the stock is under immense pressure. The numbers also came by yesterday. Tell us why is it sulking in trade?
So Karunya, if you go to see, the stock has been falling for 8 consecutive days. It has been quite under pressure, and like you mentioned, the numbers, they haven't been quite great for the company. They've seen a 10% decline. So the two-wheeler space overall also has not performed well compared to the auto numbers. And this time the stock is down around 15% in the month. So pressure is building on Bajaj Auto, and it'll be interesting to see how the space actually, the company's stock price actually moves along going forward as well.
Okay, Bajaj Auto in the meantime down more than 100 rupees per share. Okay, with that we're out of time on Market Fatafat, so I want to wrap it up. Thank you Soumya, Vinny as well as Mana for joining in, and many thanks to our viewers for tuning in.